Hey, what's up, family? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Courage Chronicle podcast. I am your host, Devin McKnight. Listen, I am excited. Today, I have a friend of mine. She's a phenomenal singer. She's a creative. She's a CEO. She's the CEO of Head and Treasure. I want to welcome to the podcast, Mariette Ellis. Mariette, how you doing?
Hey, Devin, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing well. Listen, I want to say thank you, first of all, for your time and being on the podcast. I know time is precious. And so I just want to thank you for taking out time to sit down and talk with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very, very much.
Absolutely. Now, Mariette, on this podcast, we are all about having regular conversations with regular, everyday people that found the courage to pursue passion. That's really what this is all about. And so I want to talk a little bit about Head and Treasure. Can you tell me about what is Head and Treasure all about and how did it get started?
So, Headed Treasure is an online based business based straight out of Gainesville, Florida. We offer all things cultural, accessories for men and women. We also offer apparel, actual clothing, skirts, shorts, pants, shirts with printed cultural sayings on them. We offer head wraps. So, that is actually the basis of our business. That's how we got started. And I'll tell you how it all started. So, right out of high school, sometimes we ladies, we have really, bad hair days. And so I was like, I need something to cover myself up. I don't have time to do my hair. And guess what I went to? I went to a t-shirt. I also used a pair of tights. And I think my mom reminded me, she said, girl, you used to always get my pillowcases and put on your hair. So that is actually how it started. I did not know that
Wow.
Head and Treasure was going to derive from me doing that. But as the years went on, I found that it wasn't just something that I needed to do to cover my hair for a bad hair day. It became a passion of mine. Head and Treasure, we offer an array of head wraps, turbanettes, which is nothing more than a headband for ladies. We also offer men's hats as well. So that is how we got our start. We evolved from offering head wraps to all types of apparel for the family. So that's how it all started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Take me back to the beginning. Like, where did this idea or this passion to become an entrepreneur come from? Like, did you grow up in a family around business owners, and or where did that come from for you?
Yes, so I grew up in a family of business owners. They are deceased right now, but my aunt Eloise and her husband, Uncle Arthur O'Neill, and some of my other family members, they were business owners. But I was never looking for that. I didn't, look to them and say, "Hey, I want to be a business owner." The
Yeah,
saying goes, "Some things we choose, and some things chooses us." And I think
that's
that's
right.
honestly
That's
what
right.
happened in this case right here. Like I said, it grew into kind of like a chore, so to speak, into a passion. One day I was at work and I was like, I need to do something. Like I want to do something, not something that everybody else is doing. And sometimes we get a little weary when we see other people doing something that we want to do, and that's okay.
Sure.
We're different. We'll offer different things. We're different, type of, market or person, and we have those people that we're gonna find, within our reach. And so I was at work, and I was like, okay, Lord, I gotta figure something out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was talking to one of my friends about it, and Cedrica, and she was like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. So I just began to write and share with her and some of my cousins actually. And I was
Hmm.
trying to find not only like resources and like where should I start? I don't know. So I just started writing things down. After I had it in my head, I used to be really, really bad at keeping mental notes. And I know that whatever you're thinking, you have to put it on paper. You got to write the vision and you got to make
Sure.
it plain. And so that's
That's
what I
right.
started to do. I honestly thought that I needed all these resources, like I needed all this money and, excuse me, all these things to get started. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. I was like, Lord, listen, um, this is a desire of my heart, right? And I know that if it's in your will, you're gonna make it happen. So what I needed
Right.
to do, I needed to do what he told me to do: write the vision, make it plain. I needed to research what I was trying to do, find resources, things that I needed to have to get started, and I did that.
Right.
And it sat that idea sat for some years before I actually got started with Head and Treasure. So that's kind of how we got started, and yeah, that's how we got started.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it kind of leads into my next question because one of the things that I often say on the pod is everybody dreams and has passion, but not everyone finds the courage to pursue that dream. And so, where do you think that courage came from for you? Because I think that so many people end up leaving this earth without ever pursuing purpose, without ever pursuing passion. So, where do you think that you found the courage from to actually go out and launch? Once you went from it's an idea, I'm going to put it on paper, now I'm going to actually pursue it. How did you find that courage?
So, a lot of people who know me very well, they know that I've always been timid, always in the background. I work in the background all day long, and I never have to be in the forefront, right? So I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
Lord, I don't want to come forth. Like I know if I'm a business owner, like you have to be the face of your brand, right?
Yeah,
I want to do
for
this, but I
sure.
want to stay in the back. But you can't do that if you are given a task to do, your own business. At some point, you got to come forward. And so
Yeah.
I found the courage. I had a talk with some family members, and that passion it would not leave me alone. Like that was all the
Mm,
courage that I needed. I talked to my family, some of my friends, my
hmm.
immediate close friends about the idea, and I
Yeah.
just I was like, oh, I don't think people are gonna like it. I don't know if it's gonna be good enough. And they were like, listen, if God gave it to you, and this is something that is not only a passion, but you have skill. Like you know how to wrap your head. You know how to tie your head up. Whenever you go, in the streets, you have women and even men. They always gave me compliments about it. So I think that actually gave me a lot of courage. And the other thing is, I got tired of being scared. Tired of being scared to
Mm,
do things. How will you know if something or yourself will succeed at doing something if you don't try to do it? I said
for sure.
this day I wrote down. I asked the Lord for resources. I asked Him for guidance. He gave me exactly what I needed. He told me. He said, "You don't need all this other stuff that you need. Those things will come. But if you do what I told you to do, start what I told you to start. Everything else it'll follow." So I did that. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
what I did. I had about 7 types of African fabric, and other
Hmm.
fabrics included in that I needed help with choosing for the business. So I sent it amongst my team now, my team and a couple of family members for them to help me choose it. So the Lord told me
Yeah.
to start with those 7 items. Use those. Only get a few of them. Get your website and move forward. And that's exactly what I did. And that's all that I needed. So that's how I got the
Wow.
courage to move forward.
Wow. No, I love that. That's awesome. You talked about that fear, and I think that a lot of people, that's one of the hindrances for a lot of people, just that fear of failure. How would you speak to that person maybe that's watching that, they know that they have a passion, they know that they're called to greater than whatever it is they're doing, but maybe they just have that fear of failure, that fear to launch out. How would you encourage that person?
Listen, I understand fear, okay? I understand it from this place, as a business owner, just getting started. I understand that the world is
Mm,
big. There's so many other people who are doing what we may be doing. I know sometimes we want to feel like we want to be the only person doing a certain thing. It can be intimidating,
yeah,
but I'm here to tell you that you can do it. If God gave it to you, you can do it. Everybody I
yeah,
feel needs some type of support system. I had one. They really encouraged me to move forward and with a plan, write it down, research it, have your
right.
team of people that will root you on, and go for it. You won't know that you'll be able to succeed unless you try it. What's the worst that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, you either try it again or you move forward with something else. So I understand it all too well. But do it, and do it scared.
That's awesome. Do it scared. I love it.
Do it
I think for
scared.
me, it's more of a thing of I'm afraid to not try it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like when I think about some of the things that I'm passionate about, I think about God receiving a return on the investment that He made in all of us because I think we were all created with purpose and with passions and
mm.
dreams. And I'm in a space where I'm like I'm afraid to not do it, right? Because I'm just like I don't want to get before him one day and it's like, why didn't you use any of that stuff that I gave you? And I don't really have an answer other than I was afraid. You know what I mean? So if you got to do it scared. So no, I absolutely love that. I love that. I want to ask you about balance, because I know that you work a 9 to 5 job, but then you're also promoting a brand and you're building your brand. How do you balance the two? Because I know that after you've worked all day, when you get off work, it's like you probably want to get somewhere, sit down, put your feet up, and just kick it, but here you are, you're building your brand and you're investing in your future. How do you balance all that out? How do you do that?
So not only do I have a 9 to 5, but I'm actually a supervisor on my job. Um, it has absolutely been rough. But one thing that I have found that has worked for me is keeping a schedule. Like I have to write things out. And I know that I said previously about having mental notes. Keeping things stored in your mind, it doesn't work
Yeah,
because it's so many ideas that we have. Things will get jumbled up. You will forget. So just get those things out of your mind that you want to do, that you need to get done. Even the things that you have ideas about, that they're not fully, developed. Get them on paper, get you a schedule, write down
yeah,
everything. You got to write it down. And I know that for some people, they have families, they go to school, they're in college, they have all these things going on, none of which I
yeah,
have. I don't have any children. I don't have a husband at the moment. I'm not in school, and I do work, but I'm active in other capacities. So, it can be a lot, but having that schedule can absolutely make a big difference.
yeah. That's awesome. No, I love that. Keeping that schedule, writing everything down, definitely help you stay organized. One of the things that a friend of mine, Chris Harmon, who I recently had on the pod, one of the things that he said is, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future," which would suggest that those who you are closest to, you can pretty much guarantee that your life is going to be very similar to theirs, whether we're talking about income, we could be talking about health habits, affiliations of faith, those who you spend the most time with, oftentimes you guys will glean from each other, rub off on each other. I want you to talk to me about the importance of a healthy circle as you're pursuing purpose, having people in your corner that can help push you through to your purpose. Well, how important is that for you?
It is absolutely one of the biggest things one of the biggest decisions that we can make, honestly, because most times you are what you are around, and
Yeah,
people have the absolute influence on us if we allow it. Either we're going to be an influence on them, or they're going to be, that to us. And you're absolutely correct. It is very, very, very important because those friends should be there to help propel. Like I need to be around people, even if they're not doing the same things that I'm doing. I need them to be able to support me in my endeavors because I'm going to do the same for them.
yeah.
It Having a lack of support in the friend area it can be very hard.
Mhm.
I don't know what that feels like to not have it because I have it, but I can imagine that that can be hard. These are people that you
Yeah,
talk to every day, or some that you may talk to here and there because we're all busy. So you may not talk to them as much, but you want to be able to share your ideas with them. I know that certain
right.
things may not be shared right away with everyone. But there are certain
Yeah,
things that I feel like, as a friend, we want to share with them. We want their feedback. And if they're not able to
right.
support me in that way or in other ways that I may need them, I I don't know. So it is very important to have that, because sometimes, honestly, it can make or break a thing or a person. And I think
Yeah.
it's very important that you choose friends alike, somebody or people who are headed, in the same direction as you, even if it doesn't look the same.
Sure.
Like, you know, in our faith, even with the mentality as it relates to money, just
Right.
resources, all of these things. Even if none of us are there yet, we know where we want to go. And as long as we know where we want to
Right.
go and we make strides to get there, hey.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with
I
you. It's
love it.
absolutely important.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Um, So, what do you have coming up? Talk to me about what's next for Head and Treasure. I know I had a privilege to attend one of your Juneteenth events recently, in recent
Mhm.
years, and it was super dope. Great vibe, great vendors, really, really cool setup. So, what do you have coming up next?
Yes. So, Head and Treasure is preparing for our first event of this year on February the 17th. That is a Saturday
Okay.
evening at 4 o'clock p.m. We will be hosting our first ever event this year called the Love Your Selfie Experience. I am really, really,
Okay.
really excited about this. So, we're going to be talking about all things love, right? And we know that February is Love Month. Um, and this is something that should be shared. A lot of people feel that Valentine's Day or Love Month is for couples, or the married folk, or those who are engaged. And it is,
Yeah.
that's fine, but it's for all of us. Like, no man should be left behind, right? Love is love,
Yeah.
and everybody deserves it. So I kind of wanted to give us, the singles, the married, the unmarried, those who are in between, the divorcees, those who are widows and widowers. I wanted to give us, some type of intimate setting where we could dine. We could talk about love, the love that we have for ourselves, or the love that we should have for ourselves, the love that we want
Yeah.
to receive, but we have to love ourselves first so that we are able to give and, receive that type of love. So, those are the things that we're going to be talking about. And listen, the food is going to be catered. I'm really, really excited. We have guest panelists that are going to be there from different walks of life, that are very, influential in this community and the surrounding areas. And I'm truly honored, because if anybody really, really know, who I am today, I'm passionate about everything that I put my hands on.
Yeah.
I'm very, very passionate about that. And I think that working on ourselves should be an everyday thing. And so this is another, added experience in which we could use to, better show ourselves love, receive the tools to be able to do so. So I'm really excited. It is a ticketed event. The tickets are $35 per person. I promise you, it is actually worth way more than that. So we're really, really excited, and those tickets can be purchased on our website at www.headintreasure.com, and that is www. The word head, the letter N, and the word treasure.com. It is going to be a phenomenal experience, a very intimate setting. The attire is semi-formal cocktail attire, and the tickets are absolutely limited. We're actually almost sold out. So I
Okay.
admonish all of you
Awesome.
to please purchase your tickets before February the 10th or before we sell out. So I'm really, really, really excited about that.
Super dope. I love
And
that.
can I say one other thing, Devin? One more other
For
thing.
sure.
I
Absolutely.
want to stress, okay, I want to stress that this is not for women. I think sometimes when we see flyers with women on it, oh, that's for
Yeah.
women, I'm not going. No, man, I want to stress to you that it's not for women only. This is for you too. This is for men who are single, men who are married, men who are dating, men who are in between, whatever it is, it's for all of us, women and
Yeah.
men. So I am inviting all of you to come out, not only to support Head and Treasure, but to come and be filled. Like, sometimes
Yeah.
we get from an empty place, we need to be filled. And I think if you come to Head and Treasure's Love Yourself experience, you'll be sure to be filled.
No, I love that. That's so dope. Um, Super cool. So y'all go and check it out. Make sure you get your tickets. Tickets are almost gone. That's a great thing. That means people are excited about what's going on. One thing I know about Mariette is she knows how to plan an event. She knows how to host a great event, and so you will not be disappointed. Um, I think about where we are with our culture. Um, and in terms of Black history, and how pretty much our government has taken it out of the schools, and it's sort of not really, it's just not really as prominent now. I think back when we were in school, how Black History Month was such a big deal. And so that's really why I wanted to get on the pod and just interview a bunch of Black entrepreneurs, because I think there's so many people around us that are doing some amazing things in the community, yourself included. So where can we purchase Head and Treasure? Because I've seen your merchandise, and you do a really good job. Like your head wraps are really dope. I've seen some of the menswear that you have with the shirts and the hats. So where can we? And I think this is the perfect time to do it. All of the Black History events or parties that we may be hosting coming up. I think Head and Treasure has the gear for you for your event. So where can we purchase your material?
Yes, thank you so much for that. All items can be purchased on our website at www.headintreasure.com. www. The word head, the letter N, and the word treasure.com. So we try to make sure that we update our website every so often with new items. And sometimes we have so many items in stock because we do so many events. Like we're vendors at local events, and sometimes we don't even have a chance to upload it to our website because it's always sold
Yeah,
out. But what we
yeah,
have, our new stock is coming in. We're going to be restocking. It's coming soon, so you can find what we have in stock and all of our new arrivals that will be coming on our website at
yeah.
www.headtreasure.com.
Awesome. And where can we follow you on social media?
So you can follow us on Facebook at Head and Treasure 2020, and also on IG, and our name is Head and Treasure.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, it's been another episode of the Courage Chronicles. I want to say thank you for joining. Listen, if you haven't already, do me a favor and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that little subscribe button, hit the notification button so you do not miss any of this great content. If this podcast, if this interview has done anything for you, the only thing that I'm asking of you is to go to headandtreasure.com and support our sister Mariette. She's doing great things in the community. She's making an impact, and then she has dope stuff. And so we're proud. We support you, sister. And I'm just excited. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here. She's also a dope singer. I was about to be real petty and just like low key be like, just hit us with a little bit of something, but I'm not gonna do it.
I can't do it tonight, my
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, but I appreciate you, sis. Definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Devin. I really, really appreciate you. And if I may add, Head and Treasure, we don't only sell and offer cultural attire for the entire family, but we have also branched out, and we also have a podcast called Conversations with Gemini. So listen, I'm asking all of you to follow us over on
Yeah,
Facebook and IG. So yeah, guys, come on over. Devin, thank you so much for having me tonight.
absolutely. No, thank you for being here.